Hey guys, it's Brenda Renge here with It Is What It Is with Powerhouse Property Group and JPAR, the Sears Group. Thanks again for joining us this week. This week we have Agent Spotlight. So what does that mean, guys? Look, this is what it means, my agents.
We are here.
Yes, we're here.
And tell everybody who you are. I know who you are. Who are you?
Who are you?
We are the Garza team.
Yes.
Megan and Joe
Yes.
Garza, team leads of the Garza team.
I
Happy to be here.
Well, yes, and I'm so happy to have you guys. Now, I'm going to bring up something because I've known Megan now maybe 5 years. How long have you been in real estate?
Wow. 6, going on 7 years.
Okay,
girlfriend.
so we met together at another place, and we have just, been friends since. But the
Yes.
thing is, Megan, you started out, before it was the Garza team, it was Megan Garza.
That's right.
Just like that.
MG.
Slaying it by yourself.
By herself. So how was it? So let's talk a little bit about this, because you do get people that start saying, hey, I'm doing this, and then they want to be a team, and not so much just a team, but with their spouse. And that really makes it right. I
Yes.
love that when you really have the two people, the husband, the wife, because I just think it speaks volumes about a relationship too, about
yeah.
being able to work together. And I think it's awesome. But kind of give me that little tell about you, your little transition when you were doing it, and then what made you.
So I'm going to bring you way back. When I was a stay-at-home mom and Joe was in offshore and I got my license, there was a goal of what we wanted, and we knew like years down the road, we didn't really know 5, 10, but he would
Come back home.
come back home, and that was the goal, right? Do something where we can have a brighter future. He can stay home 24/7 versus leaving and coming. So we did that, and I got my license. And 2016, I joined another brokerage.
Right.
Was 2 years doing that, and I don't know, once we changed over, you came on board. Well, I had already been 2 years with the new brokerage.
Yes. It was more, all that's great, all that's good, but she would get, her last name's Garza, so she would get Spanish calls all the time. And I was still kind of like, man, I don't want to go back to the shop. I don't want to work 12 hours when I leave offshore. I wanted something where we could have our free time. We take ownership of our time. And she's like, well, why don't you get your license? We were drinking, day drinking.
You were day drinking.
No, we were having a lunch meeting with some cocktails, and
she brought it up, and we were like, you know what? F it. Let's just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And literally, I took every course when I was offshore. When I would come home, I wanted to spend time with her and the kids, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing it until I go offshore. So I'll go back offshore, do another 3 courses or whatever, and then finally I got my license, and by that time, you already transitioned to JPAR, which is the best brokerage ever.
Yes. Yeah, we know that.
And but we literally went from spending maybe 1 to 2 days out of the month together.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you put it in perspective.
Like 24/7.
Yeah. And when you put it in perspective, and he did it, but Sophie at that time was 7.
This is her daughter. She has 2 of them. They have 2 daughters.
Daughter. He left her offshore when she was 3 months. No, 3 months old? Yeah. 3 months old. So he said, do you realize I've been gone half of her life?
Oh.
So that for me was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It hit different.
It does.
I miss so much, and she held it down. There's no way in hell I would have been able to do what she did.
Can we cuss on here? Sorry.
We're just keeping it real.
Yeah,
Keeping
it's
real.
all about that.
Yes.
Keeping it real.
But it's hard, and I underestimated how much hard work she was doing. I knew the family stuff, that's hard, but with real estate, I didn't realize how hard and how stressful it is to be in real estate until I joined. I would come home from offshore, and she'll have a glass of wine. I'm like, baby, it's 2:00. Like, what do you?
She'd be like, and.
Or she'll be, stressed out, and I'm like, man, it really can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of mental that goes into it,
Yeah.
and you're not busy every single day.
And let's say this, you said it can't be that bad. You're right. It's not bad. It's the fact that you're doing so much, you get overwhelmed, and you're doing so much because you're there for your clients.
Yeah.
And you want to be there. And we know how you guys are. Y'all, I mean, you make sure, Megan and you are both there for them. If you weren't, you wouldn't
care.
wouldn't be in this place right now.
Right.
You
and
really
I was
wouldn't.
only doing 6 to 7 transactions a year. It's not even comparison to where we're at now. But when you think about it, you're like, I mean, it was hard. But he was so he jumped on, and it was very easy for him to adjust. I mean, he adjusted in
I got the best mentor. The wifey.
The wifey. She's like,
my desk was a mess.
That's okay.
But you know, it was good. So we jumped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we've been now doing it for 2 years.
Going on
3 years now.
Is it already that much together?
I know.
Really?
It's flown by.
Yeah, before COVID. I mean, he did it. He transitioned right when COVID
hit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
So let's
Here we
talk
are.
about that. So like you said, you went from doing 6, 7 transactions. You were by yourself, busy because you still had the family. You were gone, come back, everything starts. You're adjusting to something new, excited about it. But where did you see that where you saw the shift in what your business was about to do? Was it right before he came on, or once he jumped on you, that's when you said, hey, boom, this is really, we're getting busier. You're taking on now, like you said, because don't speak Spanish. You're like me. I can't necessarily carry on a conversation. I can understand quite a few things. So if you want to talk about me behind my back, go ahead. I'll know what you're saying.
Right.
But that's okay. So did you feel like that helped too? Because now you were able to bring on a different clientele as well, because the Spanish, now that language, because I'm telling you, no, that is, it's hot. I love that.
That door swung open, and he took control over it.
I think that, and also I think people just trusted us even more.
They do with it together.
With
Yep.
the husband and wife team, and you know, most of our 95% of our transactions are referral based, or people in our sphere.
Yep.
That trust us, know us, and like us.
That's exactly where you're at with
And
that.
once I jumped in, she was already the ball was rolling.
Oh, yeah.
2020,
I
the
know.
momentum was going. I think I just jumped in and helped out. And
Yeah.
we were able to kind of smooth transition into it. And
Because that's what I think really happens. Really,
Like, instead of me driving and, which is really bad, but multitasking, pulling up addresses, mapping, and shuffling papers, it was an easy, like, hey babe, can you schedule this showing for me? Like, I mean, it's so much better to have a partner, you know.
So it started as,
and we haven't killed each other.
Yeah.
well, I sure hope y'all don't.
No, we will not.
We'll
We
look
will
at each other
not, but
sometime,
we
like,
have made it through.
But you know, it's normal, right? Like a husband and wife working together, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna, you're gonna have hurdles, not issues, but hurdles. And it seems like,
But the goal's the same. That's why it keeps going,
Yeah.
and you both believe in it, and you got each other's
Yeah.
back, and that's what's important.
and there's times where I'm like, you know what, you're right, babe. You were right. You know, we
Most
did
of the
this. Yeah, about
99.9%.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, so one thing I really want to talk to you about, because I watched it with you, and I know that it works. I've always felt that farming works.
Yeah.
There's too many people that have done it and committed to it
Right.
that it works. So let's talk about that. How y'all, what made your mind decide? Because I know you were doing.
Yeah, so I was actually doing it when I first started. I was not very consistent, but I got on to Old Republic's home warranty website, which they offer a free newsletter. Super awesome. You plug in your name, your phone number, email. They set up the newsletter. It is free. You print it. And I was doing sweat equity. I was mailing them. I wasn't seeing any results from it, but I did that for maybe 6 months. And then I think when we transitioned and then Joe came along, we still stuck with it, but we ended up doing a custom newsletter versus the printout, because there was stuff that we wanted to add in the newsletter and we couldn't make changes to it.
Yeah.
But I think if you're just starting, it's a great tool to use.
Absolutely.
So when Joe came on, like other systems that have now been added to our routine, which is great, we now have a custom newsletter, and we still do the sweat equity because you can mail them. The problem with mailing is that you're not face to face with your
people.
your people that you want to do. And we currently live in the neighborhood. One of the challenges that we also face with our neighborhood is the turnover rate was not super high.
It was like 3%. So
I really wanted to focus on letting people know that we live here and we work here and we know the neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. What were you going to say?
What was crazy about it is we were about to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because when I got into it, she was already doing it. Then she
Yep.
stopped for a little bit. Then I joined the team. And then we started doing it for a whole year. And nothing. And it was
Yeah.
so discouraging. It was like, oh my God.
It's a lot of work. I mean, we were doing
newsletters.
2 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
not to mention the time it takes to make a newsletter. It's not
And we were
easy.
doing pop buys too.
Yeah,
right?
we're doing
so we were doing
Popeyes.
quite a bit of stuff. And then how it happened was,
Well,
what had happened was,
Well, how it was.
Yeah.
we went to an agent panel meeting,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I asked successful agents,
6 top agents, I think.
this is my scenario. Do you think I should continue?
Mm-hmm.
And they told us no. They said, stop it. Don't do
The
it. It's not
turnover
worth
ratio
it.
is too low.
Which
you're
I-
wasting your time.
Can agree. I think there's definitely some truth in there, but we said no. We were going to keep going. We're going to keep, and I kid you not, next month
The next
we
month,
did a pop by.
we did a garage sale pop by.
Yeah.
And we were going to all the people who had garage sales and dropping off a little goodie bag. You know, markers, little stickers.
Was
Was it a community garage sale?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you knew they were having it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sanitizers, our
Little notepad.
little notepads,
Yeah, uh-huh.
you know, branded.
Just a little goodie bag, but
And every neighbor we got out, I didn't know 'em.
You're right.
I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm Joe, my wife Megan.
Garza
We
team.
live, we're a real estate team that lives in the neighborhood. Just want to give, yeah, Joe, we know who you are. We get your newsletters all the time. You and Megan, and every single house we stopped, the Garza team, yeah, Megan and Joe. We were
everyone
like,
knew
"Oh,
who we were.
We famous, Mama, I made it.
It's like that time I was at church one day and
Yeah.
somebody said, I said something, they told me where they lived. Oh, my friends live over there. They're realtors. Oh, and
The
I said,
Garza
yeah,
team.
oh yeah, the Garza team. I know who they are.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
they know you or not, that's what people say.
Right.
They know who you
Yes.
are. That's what,
Right.
Yes.
that's the goal.
And we got, maybe a month later after somebody told us to stop, we got a call for our first listing in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's now, we've got.
So we from then to now, we've had 5 listings.
From there.
Yeah. And some of them were buy and sales.
Yeah.
Or sell and
within
buys, right?
1 year,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Within
Literally
1 year.
that we did our garage sale pop by in March of this year,
Mm-hmm.
and since then it's just been going. And now every time we do open houses, we put up 20 to 30 signs out there.
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
People knows we do Kona Ice events. You know, in our
we do
neighborhood.
4 community events
That's-
within our neighborhood. Everyone loves it. They know, hey, are you having it? For Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing a food drive, which is really awesome.
This-
So it's just staying
Mm-hmm.
on top of mind and in front of people.
In front of people,
So
right?
in the fall, a couple
Yeah.
months ago in September, we had another community garage sale.
Uh-huh.
We were doing our pop buys, and the lady was like, "I was wondering when you were gonna come and
Oh.
drop off the pop." So she was expecting her gift, her pop
Yeah.
buy.
yeah, exactly.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay. I still don't know your name. I'm sorry, but
But it's
I
okay.
apologize."
No, but
Yeah.
that's so cool.
But-
and
Yeah.
that's the way that it happens. And that's the one thing I like to hear because that's how you want to encourage newer agents. Even agents
yeah.
have been doing this forever too, that maybe never really tried the farming thing.
Yeah.
But
But there's so much to do out there as an agent, and there's so many avenues of how to get new leads and how to get listings and how to get buyers. But if you're going to stick to something, stick to it. When they tell you to be consistent, be consistent. Don't, and do it. There's even some people, we do a 1 month newsletter, but there's actually people out there that do a weekly newsletter. 2 weeks, a postcard. We've also taken the EDDM route too, and we're gonna be posting a postcard out there shortly.
But
so
I think our newsletter is pretty unique. It's not a generic newsletter.
is that one of them or what is
Yeah.
This one right here. So we pretty much have here. You got nicer fingers.
I don't know about that.
that? Hers go get some done every
Yes,
other
I need
week.
I need to do something with my hands. Get a manicure.
So we kind of just
Yeah.
list a little paragraph about us.
Uh-huh.
Make it personal. We put something in there that we love to do as a family.
Right.
You have events here, and then we can spotlight a listing. Currently,
Mm-hmm.
we have one in the neighborhood, so we're spotlighting that. You give a little bit about the market, and we do it pertaining to our zip code. You can do it to whatever.
We do two. One, Houston in general, Harris County, and then another one that's just 77070.
We also feature a monthly business in the neighborhood or
Shout out to Monroe Photography.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing photographer for babies, newborns, and
and we
everything.
also have
Yeah.
a vendors list because it's very important, especially in the community. Constantly people are, do you know a good plumber? Do you know a good electrician? So we've included that in there too. So it's you want to be helpful, right? You want to put your name out there consistently, but you also want to be
You wanna be able to
providing-
provide great information, right?
Right.
Be of
Providing
service
something of service, yeah.
to your people.
You know what you ought to do with that, right? With all that great vendor stuff, the honey,
oh yes,
the honey,
we're working on
Honeydew.
it.
the
Yeah,
Honeydew app deal.
Yes.
And folks, this is another great agent tool that we have that Chris has provided and been able to put out there for us. So just like how they're doing, they're putting vendors in there. You can put this into the app and send it out in your deal that, hey, sign up for the app. Here it is. If you do your QR code, whatever,
Right.
get them to that. And then all your stuff will be in there already too. So that's another great
Yes.
thing. People
Well, and
love it.
it's-
People
Yeah.
love what you're doing. They love the information.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and we get, we'll pass them out, and everybody in the neighborhood, shout out to Truly Title,
Yeah.
because they were able to help us out and get everybody's information, and we put that information, emails, in our KV Core, in our CRM, and not only do we put them on the doorsteps or the door, we email them to them.
Yep.
So and then
And that
we
goes
have-
to our sphere too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
yeah, and
in
we
our
have
database.
everybody on a market update, on a home valuation. So people always send us emails back like, "Hey, appreciate the information, appreciate the houses,
If that's one thing that you can do with your KV Core, because it's so overwhelming, but if you can do just one thing, it would literally be to put all your database on a market update. Market update.
Yep.
It's so easy, and people love it.
They
Yeah,
do.
we'll go to
They love
get-togethers
it.
and they're like, "Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to send me a market update and tell me how much my house is worth." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, it only took me like 5 minutes."
Yeah.
Just to put your information in, and after that, every month.
No problem.
Yeah.
And it'll only take you a minute to tell me you want to sell your home.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
just messing. But yeah, so yeah, I appreciate that because that's definitely information that needs to be shared. And anything else y'all want to throw out there about you guys before we kind of close it up for the week?
We're here to help if
we're-
anybody
yes.
ever needs to have any help with
Any questions?
Any
help with
questions on
showings in the Tomball Sci-Fair area.
Not only that,
Yeah.
mentors
Yes,
Yes,
we are
yes.
mentors.
for JPAR. So if you are out there listening and you are wanting to change or a brand new agent, they're just another great source for JPAR as a new agent,
Yes.
for mentors.
We are
So-
here to help.
To help.
Yes, and we care. We truly
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. They,
Truly care.
oh, truly. That's all right. The Truly Title girls were here
Yes.
last week.
Yes.
But anyway, guys, so thank you so much. I really appreciate
Well, thank
you
you for
guys
having us. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
taking the time. So we're going to, you never know when I'll ask you guys back because things just turn and go and move or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever topics, I'd love to be able to do that. And so anyway, I think we're going to be done for the day. What do you
Awesome.
think? Are y'all,
Thank you.
are y'all
I think
good?
so.
Are y'all
Yeah.
good?
It was great. Thank
was-
you
yeah.
for having us.
You're-
We love you.
Yeah,
You're
resources.
amazing.
We
So
love you.
Old Republic Home Warranty
Jeez.
provides a free newsletter
Newsletter.
in
There you
your
go.
agent toolbox.
That's right.
Start there.
Start there. There you go. So, guys, again, thanks so much for tuning in with us this week. We sure do appreciate you. We love you. It is Brenda Renge with Powerhouse Property Group, JPAR, the Sears Group. You be blessed.
Bye.